So this is going to be a little bit of a interesting video just to give sort of a background and a heads up of what's happening. So I actually bought this Steiner T5 XI 5 to 25 by 56 quite some time ago, a couple months. And I had filmed almost everything for this scope. All of my first person review videos, all my footage, I was getting it all sorted out. But when I was filming it, it just, something wasn't right. And it wasn't to do with the tracking or the illumination. It actually had to do with the parallax. And for whatever reason, since I got this out of the box, keep in mind I bought this used, it just never seemed to be really sharp. Never seemed to be fully focused, even when I'd play around with everything just to try to get perfect. Like every other optic, it just, something with this, it just wasn't right. Another thing that wasn't right was when I would get it sort of in focus, the distance on the dial wouldn't match up to the distance to the actual target, whether it be at about 100 yards or as far out as about 800 to 1,000 yards. This was never good. It was never precise, and it always left the image kind of blurry. Not only that, but when you turn this, you could actually feel it get harder and then easier to turn. And every once in a while you hear what sounds like glass shifting inside. It's not going to make the noise now, but I think there's something wrong with this. So Steiner, just like Vortex, has basically whatever it is warranty, as good as you can get. So I actually emailed them last night to see if they can check this out. And they got back to me today with an RMA number and said, sure, send it in. We'll take a look at it. Lead time's 2 to 4 weeks. So I'm going to package this up tonight, hopefully get it out tomorrow, if not the following day, and see how long it takes, see what they say and see what happens. So we're going to go on this journey together, but for you guys it's going to be in one video. For me it's going to be a couple of weeks, but I'm very curious to see how Steiner handles the situation. I was very honest with them. I said I bought it used. This is the problem that I'm having. I just want to send it in and just have it be checked, because for all I know, maybe it's fine, and maybe the scope just sucks, or it's not to my caliber of what I would expect something like this to be. Heads up, I expect this to be extremely good. So it's not at that level yet. I hope it is when it comes back. I actually kind of hope that they're like, oh yeah, something was wrong, it was loose, or this shifted or that shifted, something like that, and here it is. I would be very, very happy to actually hear that, because as is right now, it's not very good. I'll leave it out there like that. But with that, I'm gonna go pack this thing up and see what happens next. All right, so here it is. It's back from Steiner. I had actually received my RMA number from them on the 10th. I had emailed them through their website, which is a very simple process. You go on there, you literally click a button, you fill out this very short little section, you send it to them, and they got back to me within 24 hours, which was extremely impressive. No questions about, like, did I do anything to it? Nothing like that. It was, okay, we received your inquiry. Here's an RMA number. Ship it out to us. So I received that on the 10th. I was a little delayed in shipping it out because, number one, I wasn't expecting it. Number two, I hadn't had time to ship it out. So I shipped it out on the 13th. They received it on the 17th. In their email, they said it was going to take about 2 to 4 weeks. It ended up being 2 days. 2 days on the 19th, they informed me that they went over everything and they found nothing wrong with it. So, one, I'm happy about that because it means that nothing was broken. But two, I'm slightly disappointed, simply because I was expecting more out of the clarity and sharpness of this optic at greater magnification. You buy a 25x optic to use at 25x. Yeah, some people will use it at 20, 21, 22, and that's fine. But what's the point about buying something if you can't use it at its maximum potential? I don't think anyone's going to buy something like this, spend this much money, and never use it at 25. Anyway, they said they found nothing wrong with it. They shipped it back on the 19th, same day they informed me, And then I received it on the 24th. So a grand total of between me shipping it to them and receiving it back was 11 days. No questions, no hidden fees, no nothing. This scope is a couple of years old, I'm sure. It's not brand new. I am the second owner. They didn't ask anything about that. They were very professional. They answered all of my questions extremely thoroughly. And that's it. And all it cost me was the shipping to them, which, I put $1,900 insurance on it. I think it was 3-day to them. It was a bit expensive, but I had everything that I needed told to me. There was no problems. It was beautiful. So A++ for Steiner, dealing with them for any sort of issue like this. None whatsoever. As far as the scope, let's take a look and see how it appears. They asked specifically make sure there are no accessories with it. And as you can see, all the accessories are behind it. This I threw back in here just because I didn't want to lose it. But here it is. It's actually a little, they did clean this because there were some light ring marks on the front and back behind the elevation turret, that I didn't really get off. I took the rings off. I took a microfiber towel. I wiped it down, but you still saw some light indexing marks. There's nothing right now. I mean, very, very slight. I don't know if you can see it right there. You could see something, but it's definitely cleaner than how it was when I sent it to them. This is mine. The serial number is the same, and glass is crystal clear as far as cleanliness goes. So they at least took this out of the box and cleaned it. So there's that. But what I'm going to do right now, just to satisfy my curiosity, is I'm going to mount this up and I'm going to see if it's any different. So that's about as good as it's going to get. It's reading around 160 meters, which I know for a fact that is not. That is 400 yards, or roughly about 350 meters. So there's definitely a discrepancy here. It looks okay. There's some strong chromatic aberration, as you can see, on the top edge of the parapet wall, but it just doesn't look sharp or clear. Backing it out, that's about 19x, and you can see the image looks a lot sharper, a lot brighter to my eye. Let's go back to 20. That's an indicated 20. And that's an indicated 25. It's not terrible. It's usable. But that's 15x. And you can see how much better that looks. I'm going to now add 5 mils of elevation. And let's bring this up and reassess. So we're at 15x, 20, 25. It's hard for me to tell without doing a side-by-side, but it still doesn't look great. As you can see, I'm pulling parallax out. That tree line is about 150 yards. And indicated is only about 90 meters. So still not right. Steiner might say that they tested everything. Maybe they did. Maybe this is as good as it gets for the scope. At 5x though, it looks fantastic. But how often are you going to be using this at 5x? That's infinity. I'm going to work my way back from there. And I'm just going to keep on spinning it until it's clear. Now I know that that is 1,000 yards away. And I think we could all agree That's about as good as it's going to get. And it's showing, again, 190 meters. Riddle me that one, please. I'm going to add 10 mils of elevation. Readjust. That one looks way better. But as far as the parallax is concerned, that's infinity. Oh, I already passed it. That's at about 200 meters right now.
And it's there that, yes, the image looks really good, but it still doesn't line up properly with the parallax knob. And that's what bothers me a lot with this. And again, for the price, this is a little bit over $2,000 MSRP, and I think it should not be the case. Nevertheless, Steiner with their warranty was absolutely top-notch, and I wholeheartedly feel that if there's ever a true problem with any of their optics, they would take care of it right away. And with that, thank you very much for watching. See you again next time.
And a huge thank you to all of my Patreon supporters. Without you, this wouldn't be possible.